with zero effective opposition coming from the Labour Party, a campaign like this, an actual direct action, is the only way left to go.
It's a stupidity of the society we live in that people can work full time and still qualify to get benefits because you don't earn enough money in a full-time job.
There's no longer a level playing field. Meanwhile, we've got the people who were heroes during the pandemic now being told, well, you've got to take a pay cut.
Keir Starmer, I don't think he knows what the word opposition means because he's not opposing anything.
Things get worse and worse and worse. You keep thinking things can't get worse, and they get worse yet again.
So why are you here?
As teachers, we have seen the impact of the Conservative government over the last, decades.
Yes, I think it's really important for the people who do the hard work in this country to stand up to the people who make all the money.
We asked them, you're not going to eat? You're not going to have lunch today? Oh, no, sir, I'm going to eat at home. It's like, they're kids, they're teenagers. They should be eating 3 meals a day.
Decades of politicians that simply don't represent the people that put them in their seats. And the voting system's unfair anyway. So I'm desperate to see change. And anything like this is just super.
I'm a teacher, I'm in the union, the UCU, and I support workers' rights, and I want everybody to be able to live in a world where everybody can live equally, basically, not like a society whereby the rich have everything and we have nothing, even though we do all the work.
I think it's important to try and show solidarity with these movements. On top of that, it's important to really get down and figure out what the plans are. What are these people exactly talking about doing? What do they want to do? What do they want to achieve?
Because Luton used to be a town, a major industrial town. They all went, the brewery went, and you had a lot of people come over from all over the country, all over the world to work in those industries. They're still in the town, but the employment is no longer in the town for them.
Their policies, austerity on the kids we serve, the community we serve, and I think it's about time that people stood up and asked for more. And I think as public servants, as people in this community, I think it's well within our rights that we should demand more. And people like Eddie Dempsey, people like Zara Sultana, Taj Ali, who's from Luton, he actually went to our school.
The number of students coming in without the basic equipment that they need to access their learning, which was high enough over the last 12 years, has gotten particularly acute now, since the financial situation's gone so bad. And with zero effective opposition coming from the Labour Party, a campaign like this, an actual direct action, is the only way left to go.
It's things like our train station is falling apart. St Albans and Harpenden are constantly getting refurbishments and everything else.
And so we're just here to protest, and we want to hear what Eddie Dempsey's saying, because he's like a really good speaker, and I wish he was the leader of the Labour Party.
What does he say that you like?
He's just saying we can't keep paying these CEOs all this money and not pay people a decent wage. It's not fair anymore. It's like the rich are getting richer, and the Tory party's in power, and they're going to lift the cap on bankers, and they won't even give the poorer workers a pay rise. So enough is enough, and it's a great badge to be wearing, and I'm proud of it.
They're telling us all at home because they're embarrassed, because they feel ashamed on their parents' behalf, because they think it's somehow a failure that their parents can't afford them food, when it's not a failure of their parents at all. It's a failure of our society as a whole if we are allowing children to go hungry.
Children's services decimated, adult social services decimated, and they think just make an announcement, we'll take another 10 million off the council. But now you're into cuts, what will really start hurting people, really hurt people.
But as a nation, we've worked ourselves into this psychotic situation where we're blaming poor people for being poor, despite the fact that is a consequence of policy decisions by governments for the entire duration of this country, but especially in the last decade and a half.
Having seen Eddie Dempsey and Nick Lynch, they're an absolute inspiration, because they don't pull their punches. They say exactly what's going on. They're not intimidated by the media. They can see right through that usual banal sort of questioning that is thrown at them, and kudos, they're standing up for their people that they support.
Do you think any political party is doing that at the moment?
No.
If you're a business, surely capitalism is meant to be, if you're a successful business and you can pay your bills, you keep doing business, right? Whereas if the government keeps stepping in and bailing out businesses, that's not really capitalism. I'm not a capitalist, but if we're going to do the whole capitalist thing, let's at least do it, right, in principle.
Media and through policies and universal credit and fitness for work schemes and things, we've managed to, Stockholm syndrome people who are in poverty into believing that it's their fault. And kids are bright, kids are sensitive, kids are emotionally intelligent. They pick up on these things from their parents, even if their parents never say, I'm ashamed that we can't eat. The kids feel that. And then they internalize it because kids behave like their parents do. And we then end up having to go even further to try and convince them that actually it's okay to ask for the help that we have and dismantle this, psychotic is the only word, situation that we've constructed as a society. And it's getting worse by the week.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. I'm a lecturer, yeah. So it's about time we had a pay rise. I'm with the teachers, and I'm with everyone that goes on strike. I'm backing them, every single one of them. So I'm here to protest today.
What do you think the winter looks like for some of your students?
It will be bad for their parents, I should imagine. Most of the students I teach are like 16, 17, they're apprentices. Their parents are going to struggle, we're going to struggle. My daughter's going to struggle, my son's going to struggle. Anybody trying to get on the property ladder we won't have a chance. So it's going to be really hard. And what they should be doing is renationalising everything in this country. And they shouldn't be giving the energy companies any money. It's going to cost like 18 billion to bail out the energy companies when they should be making them pay in the first place.